Here's a scary scenario. You work for 39 years and you finally retire. Your nest egg spits out $293 a month. That's the median retirement balance for Americans 65 and older when they run through the standard 4% withdrawal rule for $88,000. And no, that is not a typo and definitely not a worst case scenario. That is the median, not the average, the median. So today we're pulling back the curtain on what the average American actually earns, spends, owes, and saves, and some of these numbers will definitely surprise you. Some may actually make you feel better about where you are, and a few might be the wake-up call that you didn't know you needed. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with income because everything else builds on this number. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median full-time worker in this country earns just over $1,000 a week. So you can see here that's about $52,000 a year before taxes. So remember that this is individual income, it's not household income. And when Uncle Sam gets his cut through federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, that $52,000 shrinks to somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000 depending on where you live. So you're bringing home somewhere around $3,000 a month roughly on this median salary. So when you stack that against what the average household actually spends, things get tight fast, okay? That's why in my last video right here, I told you have to be making at least 75 grand a year, okay?
But Marko, that's a lot of money.
Or some people are saying
75 grand a year, that's nothing.
So it all depends on perspective and spending. But again, you guys, you need to try and bump this up to at least 75 grand a year so you can comfortably invest. Okay, so let's talk about where it all goes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also says the average American household spends $6,545 a month. That's $78,500 a year. Housing makes up the biggest chunk of that at roughly $2,100. That's $2,189 a month. That's over $26,000 a year just to keep a roof over your head. And if you're in any major city, you're probably laughing at how low that number sounds. Transportation is another one, okay? This is $1,110 a month. That's car payment, insurance, gas, maintenance, the usual suspects in that category. That's over $13,000 a year to get from point A to point B, usually to work. So food adds another $800 a month roughly. And then obviously people have miscellaneous spending on whatever else that interests them. So just these three categories come out alone to over $4,000 a month, okay? Almost $4,100 a month. This number is before healthcare, clothing, subscriptions, entertainment, vacations, any of it. And remember, the median individual take home after taxes is somewhere around $3,000 a month, okay? We talked about that in the previous slide. So a single earner is already in the hole on just these three line items before the month even starts. That's why so many households need dual incomes in this day and age, which you can watch how this is actually a trap in this video right here. And even that is a trap in and of itself, as I just mentioned. Now that we understand what we earn and where it all goes, let's get into the debt and credit score statistics that a large part of people in this country rely on just to survive. Okay, let's get into section number 3, credit and debt. War and peace, smiles and cries, yin and yang. So here's some actual good news. The average FICO score in America is 715. So credit scores run from roughly 300 all the way up to 850, and 715 lands in what I would say is the good range. It's not excelente, but it is good. So this means that most people are paying their bills on time and not completely maxing out their credit cards. That's genuinely better than I expected, to be quite honest, but don't let that fool you because the credit card debt numbers start to get ugly. The average household is carrying around $9,000 in credit card debt, okay? That's not a mortgage or a student loan. That's $9,000 spent on stuff that's probably in a closet somewhere, already in the trash, or inside of our stomachs digesting at the time of this recording. So at 24% interest, that's over $2,160 a year that you're just lighting on fire. Again, that's interest. And that's before you even get to the principal amount owed, okay? In this example, $9,000. A lot of people are asking me if they should invest in the stock market earning 7% a year, roughly, while carrying 24% interest rate debt, okay? That math does not work out in your favor, my friend. So pay off the card first every time if that is your scenario, because it's a guaranteed rate of return of whatever the interest on the credit card debt is. In this case, 24%. Again, if you showed me an investment that was guaranteed 24% per year, I'd put every single penny that I've ever earned into that investment, okay? Now, let's talk about the most important number that actually tells you your whole picture, which is your net worth. I always harp on this. It's your financial report card. It's important, okay? It's like the weight on the scale. Oh, here's another calorie analogy from Marko. Save more than you spend. Burn more calories than you consume. Isn't that crazy? But before that, let's get into today's sponsor, Kickoff.
Quick pause because your money doesn't stop at just budgeting. Credit matters too, whether you like it or not. When my wife and I were buying our first home, credit suddenly mattered way more than I expected. Same thing with car loans, insurance rates, and even applying for certain credit cards. And the frustrating part is that building credit isn't always intuitive. That's where Kickoff comes in. Kickoff is a credit building tool designed to help you build credit safely and easily. There's no credit check to apply. There's no interest. There's no hidden fees. Their affordable monthly plans start at just $5 a month and are built specifically to improve key credit factors like positive payment history and lower utilization. The way it works is simple. You sign up in minutes, turn on autopay, make on-time monthly payments, and those payments get reported to all 3 credit bureaus. That's it. You're not using it to spend money elsewhere. It's designed strictly to help you build credit over time. Users with credit under 600 who made on-time payments increased their credit by an average of 25 points in just their first month and up to 86 points after their first year. If your credit is holding you back, Kickoff is one of the easiest ways to start building it responsibly. They're also giving my audience 80% off their first month, which can bring it down to as low as $1. Click the link in the description to check it out.
Okay, net worth is the one number that truly tells you where you stand. You can lie to yourself all you want and say you're saving and doing the right things, but once you track net worth over time and see that you're stagnant, something isn't right, okay?
Oh, Marko, I'm eating healthy.
And the scale hasn't moved an ounce. Okay, why is that? Because you're consuming too many calories, fatty. The good news is that the math is simple. Take everything you own and what it could be sold for, what it's worth, subtracted by everything you owe, and whatever's left over is your net worth. Very simple. So according to the Federal Reserve, the median American household net worth is $192,700. And before you ask, yes, that's higher than probably you expected, which is good. A lot of it, though, is tied up in home equity after the housing run-up we saw over the past few years. So strip out the house and the overall median drops to under $60,000. Congratulations, that's like a Honda Pilot, okay? So you gotta get your PP up, your purchasing power. But the big picture by age is what matters, okay? So under 35 years old, and the median is $39,000. The 35 to 44 group hits $135,000. 45 to 54, $247,000, quarter mil. 55 to 64, $364,000, and 65 plus, $409,000. And what I find interesting is how much of this is actually driven by home equity for middle wealth households. Someone with a $400,000 house and a $300,000 mortgage has $100,000 in net worth on paper, but very little liquidity. What does liquidity mean, Marko? It's an asset that's quickly saleable. Stocks, very quick. Cash in the bank, very quick. Selling a house, good luck. Could be days, could be months, could be years. So the number on the scoreboard and the actual financial flexibility you have are two completely different things. So pay attention. And speaking of the scoreboard, let's get into the retirement numbers in the next section. However, I want to talk about this very quickly. These numbers may seem incredibly low. They may seem incredibly high. Whatever this means is that you need to at least try and use this as a benchmark, okay? Use it as a stepping stone, use it as a springboard, use it as a measuring stick, use it as a guide, okay? You're not worth less of a human being if you're under 135 grand and you're 35 to 44, okay? All I'm trying to say is use this as a guide. Okay, let's talk about the retirement numbers, and boy, they're kind of scary, so I drew a face. So this is the section that most people need to really think about or watch twice, okay? Federal Reserve data shows the median American has $65,000 saved for retirement across all ages. So when you break it down by age, it gets even more specific. So less than 25 is $2,000, 25 to 34 is $14,000, 65 plus, as I showed you in the beginning of this video, is $88,000. And if you extrapolate that out using the 4% safety withdrawal rate, you're looking at $293 a month plus Social Security of average $2,071 a month. Add those together and you're looking at around $2,364 a month in total retirement income. That's why my grandparents moved back to Europe like 28 years ago, okay? They lived like kings and queens. They worked here for 40 years. They made, a couple grand a month each and, Social Security and whatever they saved up. And guess what? Their quality of life was significantly higher than it was here in the States. So that's roughly the cost of a 1-bedroom apartment in most cities before utilities, food, and healthcare, especially when you get older. And that assumes that you have Social Security. Imagine my generation. Yeah, we'll have Social Security, but you can start claiming it at 85 years old, right? That's exactly what they're gonna do. So 25% of Americans have $0 saved, okay? Let me repeat that. 25% of Americans have $0 saved for retirement and will rely on that check alone, this one right here. That's 1 in 4 people, okay? After 39 years of working your butt off, this is what you get back for it. So what kind of quality of life can you live on that, okay? That's why you need to take control of your financial foundation, your PP. Do so by joining Whiteboard Finance University. Check the link out down below. If you guys don't have a brokerage account, if you don't have a savings account, a high yield savings account, okay, check out the links down below. It helps me out at no additional cost to you. You need that. You need to protect your PP. So let's take a look at these numbers real quick. Less than 25 years old, $2,000. Okay, I get it. You're a kid, you're either graduating with mountains of student loans or you haven't been in the workforce that long. I get it. Even that's kind of low in my opinion. 25 to 34, $14,000. This is embarrassing. I know you're still in the process of paying off student loans. I know you're in the process of traveling, going out, living life, having fun. I understand all that. That's fine. But $14,000 a year, bro? Dude, just max out your Roth for like 2 years. You're at $14,000 right there. Okay? You're not gonna miss the $500, $600, $700 a month, trust me. 65 plus, $88,000. You should be embarrassed of yourselves. You're a baby boomer, bro. You grew up in the most prosperous time in human history and you have $88,000 saved for retirement? Wow, embarrassing. Maybe you shouldn't have bought your 7th Corvette or 3rd Mustang, okay? Now, $293 a month, you cannot live off this. $2,000 a month, it's going to be very hard to live off this unless you're completely debt-free and you basically don't do anything, okay? That's why these grandparents give their kids like a $5 bill and say, "Happy birthday, Johnny." It's like, okay, dude. But anyway, now we're getting into personal opinions and I know how the comment section feel about personal opinion. Marko, you're da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't care, dude. All joking aside, you cannot live off this. You'll either have to move abroad or move back to whatever home country you're from where it's hopefully significantly less than this. Okay, the Bureau of Economic Analysis says Americans save roughly 5% of their after-tax income. It's actually closer to 3 or 4% if you watch my last video here. Most financial planners say you need 10 to 15% specifically for retirement, and that's on top of whatever you're setting aside for a house down payment or a car or anything else or life in general. At 5%, those shorter term goals are eating your retirement savings. And then there's the retirement age problem. The average American actually stops working at 61 years old, okay? Not 65, 61, which sounds great until you remember that full Social Security benefits don't kick in until 67, okay? So that's that gap, okay? Where you're drawing down savings with no full benefit coming in. And the Social Security Administration says someone who reaches 65 can expect to live another 19 to 21 years. If you retire at 61, you might be funding 25 years of retirement. That's longer than a lot of people's entire career up to that point. So the people doing this right aren't doing anything complicated. They're saving more than 5%. It's actually 3 to 4%, and they're starting earlier than average. Remember, time is on your side. That's the entire formula, and that's what I've been preaching on these videos since basically 2017. Put your money in the market, invest it into assets because asset holders get ahead in an inflationary environment with an inflationary currency. The money's made up, you guys. How do you still not understand that? It's 2026. It's all made up. It's all fake. So you might as well understand the game invest in assets and have the government inflate your net worth up to at least preserve your purchasing power. Okay, so my thoughts at the end of the video, as always, these numbers aren't here to make you feel bad. They're here to show you exactly how low the bar is. The average American saves 5%. They carry $9,000 in credit card debt. They retire with less than $100,000 in inflated fiat units, and depending on Social Security, to basically live them, provide for them, allow them to live in retirement, okay? So if you can beat that, it's not about winning, it's not about beating, it's not about being better than other people, it's just about putting your own oxygen mask on first. If this is the oxygen mask, put it on first. I just literally just poked myself in the eye. Oh, that's God punishing me for talking smack on these videos, I swear. Sorry, bro. Put your oxygen mask on first, then you can take care of others, okay? With all that being said, if you want to learn more, if you want to actually preserve your purchasing power, so 30 years from now, when a Honda Accord is literally $55,000, $60,000, you can at least preserve your pee-pee. Join whiteboardfinanceuniversity.com. It's $10 a month. I still haven't raised prices. I'm going to, I swear I'm going to. I should be charging 50. Look at these trades. Look at these trades, you guys. 101% on Google. Are you kidding me? And it's not a trading community, okay? I don't want to turn anybody off. I have these people in the DMs on Instagram. Bro, you're shilling options now? It's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of my net worth. Most of my money, I share it every week on Whiteboard Finance University, is invested in broad-based index funds because I'm smart, okay? So, $10 a month, live streams every Thursday, live chats, we have a blast. There's over 450 members in the community. I'm trying to get more special guests on as well. But it's just a lot. It's a ton of value for $10 a month. After fees, I barely make anything. It's mostly just to pay for the overhead of this channel. I got a bookkeeper, I got email, I got insurance, I got a bunch of stuff, okay? It's not just some guy in his basement pressing the record button, okay? And it's funny, dude, I've provided so much value over the years, and then the second you start like selling something, people get all, it's funny. You guys are, dude, just leave me alone. Anyway, join Whiteboard Finance University, don't be a loser, and preserve your pee-pee. Your grandchildren will thank you. If you don't plan on having grandchildren, your bank account will thank you. The government will thank you when they take all your stuff if you don't donate it. Also, we talk about taxes. We talk about a lot of stuff, you guys. Just join it. It's worth every penny. All right, please share the video, like it, subscribe, hit the bell. Do all that good stuff, okay? Some videos get a bajillion views. Some videos get no views. Maybe it's because I'm actually myself. Save more than you spend. Don't do that. That is bad. Please don't spend that much money. Have no fun. Have no fun. Don't spend. It's so funny, dude. I was talking about the $3 coffee 10 years ago, 9 years ago. And everyone's like, no, bro, you gotta make your coffee at home. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then now that's like the popular talking point. It's like, oh my God. It sucks just being so prescient and so ahead of everyone else. That's a joke. All right, guys, thank you so much. And as always, have a prosperous day. I'm just a clown. I'm just a clown. I just do this for fun, guys. See ya.